Hello everyone, I am Bankole Adeyemi here again with another video on how to make online schooling as seamlessly as possible for every Nigerian teacher or school. This time around in this video, I want to teach you how you can host a meeting using the Zoom conference call application. In other words, how you can have a class with your students from their various houses and you in your own house too, whereby you can teach live and direct. So the process is very easy. Firstly, this is the idle mode on my screen. You go to the menu where your app is, where the Zoom app is. The Zoom app, it's here, so you click on it. Here is Zoom app, so click on it. I've clicked on it now, so it's loading. So this is a page it will bring you to, since you are not a first-time user, you've signed up in the past. So here, because you want to host a meeting, you click on new meeting here. That is, you want to start the meeting, so you click on new meeting. When you do that, it will bring you this interface where you'll be asked two questions. Number one is video on. What that means is that whether you want the camera to capture your face in the meeting or not. If you want it, you leave this place in blue color the way it is, but if you don't want it, you disable it by clicking it. Once it turns white, it means you don't want the video to be on, but for now you may have it on. Let's leave it on for now. Secondly, use personal meeting ID. As at the point of signing up, or after you signed up into Zoom will give you a personal meeting ID that is meant for you and you alone. That ID is what you give to your students or colleagues that you want to host in a conference call. It is that ID they will use to join your meeting. So if you want them to use that ID, you leave this place the way it is in blue color, you enable it. However, maybe for one reason or the other, for security reason, or you want to, for any other reason, you don't want to use your personal meeting ID, you can disable it. When you disable it, what that means is that Zoom will generate another meeting ID for you that you are going to use for that particular meeting. But as a teacher, what is the best thing for you to do? The best thing for you to do is to be consistent with a particular meeting ID, and that should be your personal meeting ID, so that your student can easily come into your class. They can have easy access to your class. You shouldn't be changing meeting ID every now and then. It will become cumbersome for them, and that is not part of what a teacher should do to a student. So that means we have to enable it. Afterwards, you click on start meeting. So because the camera is on, that's why you can see my face, but I have disabled it. You can disable it at this bottom point here where we have the camera here. So it has been disabled. I have done that for the purpose of concentration, so that we will not be distracted. If you want to see your participant to see you, will enable it. That is simple. So that's the way you host a meeting. So when you click on your screen like this, so your meeting ID will be displayed at the top, like you can see here, in case you want to tell somebody else to join you, so you give that to them. That is number one. Then at the bottom here, we have some icons. First one is the mute icon, the other one is the video icon, the other one is the share icon, then participants, and more, and so on and so forth. That's the way you host a meeting. But beyond this, let me end this meeting. There are some settings that you can do in your meeting. I've held the first meeting earlier on. Settings you can put in place For now, when I start this meeting, when anybody wants to join this meeting, the person only needs is the personal meeting ID, this 10-digit number alone. With that, the person can have easy access to my meeting live and direct, no holds barred, no obstruction. But there are some other settings you can put in place that may reduce that free access. For example, you click on meetings here. I clicked on meetings at the bottom here, you can see it. So it brought me to this page. Here you have edit. You click on edit. By clicking on edit, you will be shown this page. There is something here I want you to see. Meeting password. Meeting password. If you want to enable it, you click on it. Once it turns blue, you have enabled it. So you can now input a password. What that means is that apart from your personal meeting ID that your participants need to supply before they have access to your meeting, you still need to supply your password again. So, but for a teacher, I don't advise that. It only makes the entrance of the class difficult for the students. So we should go away from that. So it's preferred that you don't enable this icon. You disable it like I have done now. Another one is the waiting room option. If you don't want your student just to come to your class freely, or your other participants to come to your class freely, or you want to be notified when anybody is about to enter the class, you enable this one. What this means is that when the person has supplied the personal meeting ID, he is ready to enter the meeting, but he will be kept in a waiting room, just like we have waiting rooms or receptions in our offices. Before they come into the main office or the CEO's office, there will be a reception where they have to sit before the CEO will now grant them access to come into his office. So the waiting room is just like a reception. They will be there. So when any intending participant is in the waiting room, you will be notified. So whether you want to admit the person or not, you will do that. So that is, you click on admit to let the person in. But like I usually say, for our students, let us disable it so that they can have free access to our class. Then this one, allow join before post. This means that you want your participant to be in your meeting room before you. If you enable it, that's what will happen. But it's not ideal. It's not ideal. You should be the first person in the meeting room so that others will come and join you. This is the point here. Automatically record meeting. Some people have asked me, can you have a recording of the proceedings of the meeting? Yes, you can. This is where you do it. When you enable this, you have made it easy. Every discussion, every conversation, everything done in that meeting or in that classroom will be recorded. So it's asking you the location where you want it to be recorded, local computer that is in your phone. So for now, I don't need that, so I will disable it. Then here, please look here. You can see audio option. How do you want your audio option to be? What do you want in your audio option? Do you want to connect with the device of your phone, or you want to connect with the device of the network provider? So you click on it. When you click on it, there are many options you'll be given. Do you want to connect with device audio, or that of the telephone, or the two? So the two is clicked, no problem. Each is, that one is okay. So when you are done, you click OK. You click OK. Now, there is a particular point I have to stress here. In the default setting of your application is that meeting password is enabled, and there will be a password there automatically written there. So you are the one to go and disable it now so that your students will have free access to your class. So when you now come here and disable it, please do not forget to click save at the top here, at the top right hand corner here, because if you do not click save, that changes you have made will not be saved and it will not take effect. You just discover that after you've started your meeting, your participant or your students will be telling you that it's asking them for a password, so to disable that. To avoid that, it's better you come here, disable it, and remember to save at the top. So that has been saved. So in this way, you can seamlessly have your meeting. That is about all that I want to share with you for now. Thanks and goodbye.